what did you say about Brad?
Yeah. It's been me, yeah.
Poor Brad. Being the brunt. Damn it. I'll call Linda tomorrow, see if I can find out anything, or Diane.
Yeah, I would have,
And I'll call you right away.
yeah.
Honest to God, I'll show you where they upped his, I'm positive, his starting wage is 160 grand.
Who's
I
starting?
think,
Mine,
yeah,
did you hear?
yeah, Brett, bye. No,
Hey, you didn't see this fine print in that.
I'll send you that check, I'll send you that check, Karen.
The administrator in McGuanago, Fred, he didn't start off, he started at 120, I think.
Yeah.
But then he was the economic developer for a while.
Yeah, 'cause he left, right? Or,
No, it was John Wydell that left.
oh, okay.
And he's in Whitewater.
Whitewater.
You know him well?
Not really.
That's probably good. He's very arrogant. I got along with him fine, but I didn't owe him and Fortner.
I'm sure that,
Oh. Fortner would just give him rope. I've seen Fortner do that so many times. The guy's shooting his mouth off, and Fortner's not saying anything, he's giving him rope, and then. I shouldn't laugh, that's naughty.
But funny.
Have fun.
It was funny, I shouldn't.
More than some, you're not the only person that watched him do that.
What's that?
You guys aren't the only ones that watched him do that. or
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that. There's a lot of us that said that. What happened? What did you
How
do?
can he take that so long? Wham!
What were you thinking?
Did you see, he's gonna be a grandpa again? Carl?
Yeah,
Kristen's pregnant again?
yeah.
That's nice. How's your folks, Jeff?
Dad's doing better. He's going to rehab tomorrow. He's out of the hospital. Mom's still sick. She's
Is your dad mad he's going to rehab?
I don't think he quite comprehends. His dementia seemed pretty bad tonight. He wasn't grasping stuff.
Well, and they say it gets worse at night with that sundowner. I have that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Mom's so stubborn. He said, we gotta take you to the doctor to get you checked out. No, I'm not going.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She doesn't argue with your dad?
Well, Dad's in the hospital. Mom's home alone.
Oh.
And my sister was just sick, had it too. And she goes, yeah, you just don't feel like doing anything when you're sick. I go, well, she should at least get checked out. She might have an infection, sinus infection or something else going on.
And you said she's diabetic too, right?
Okay.
You gotta be careful.
So,
You've got a few exits.
And especially women, as they get older, that sounds gross, but they get urinary tract infection, that can really screw you up. Especially if you don't have all your faculties.
That's why they have so many commercials on TV for UTI.
Yeah. Here, drink this. Big Depends.
but yeah, it's just the joys of bringing them home from Florida, yeah.
How was that? You said it was 19 and a half hours, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're here now, they're here now. Oh, okay.
Well, don't you think the medical profession is a lot better in Wisconsin than Florida?
I have no experience in Florida, I don't know.
God, they don't pay their people nothing. They're
Labor's
teachers,
just a lot
firefighters,
cheaper
they don't make anything there.
Yeah.
But I don't like,
Yeah,
my
they
dad's
must-
eating a lot better here now and stuff, and my mom just wasn't feeding him that much either. You know, I get used to just eating that little bit, now he's
Happy?
eating everything up, yeah.
Stay warm up here.
I bet this weather is a shockerino for them.
Well, they haven't been outside, they've been at home, so.
Yeah, just inside where it's nice and warm.
I told him I got my mom's car parked off the side buried in the snow. I go, we're not digging it out for a while, it's too cold. She shouldn't be driving either. You don't wanna.
We can take you somewhere.
Well, we got a big crowd tonight.
Yeah, don't we though?
Yeah, it must be pretty busy out there because we don't even have any viewers.
We don't have any
Get the
viewers
post-
either.
Get somebody out in the audience here, she can come with.
No.
I know Wayne started watching. Did you ever watch the Ozark?
I
It's on
started,
Netflix?
but I didn't
Holy
get very
cow.
far.
I can't even watch. I get too nervous thinking, how can, that guy's in always so much trouble, and Wayne loves it.
Oh, yeah, my wife loves it.
Does she?
That's a couple years old though, isn't it?
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Started quite a while ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jane watched it a few years ago.
I got about halfway through season one, it's like, I kinda lost interest.
It starts to get repetitive, and then you kind of,
That's like kind of Sopranos, she took to it. And I watched the first couple episodes and you get into that serial stuff. And, you know,
I know, there's so many of those series I start watching, it's like, this is going nowhere, and
the only ones I really liked.
You can't believe somebody can be in so much trouble.
Band of Brothers, with a 10-part, you know, about World War II and stuff. They got a new one coming out this, next Friday, which is called Masters of the Air. Produced by Tom Hanks and Spielberg.
Riley won't be here tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah. He stopped by yesterday, or he was out front when I left yesterday.
Yeah, I think if
He
I had
loves-
been born back
he
in the
loves
day, I
second
probably
shift.
would've
Really happy.
probably been in the air.
Guys, you
Force
ready?
or-
You ready, Brad?
I'm ready.
Your token. Okay.
wow, official.
I'm gonna call the Village of Vernon Board meeting, to order. Today is Thursday, January 18th, 6 p.m. Would you all please rise for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. The first agenda item we have is ordinance 2024-01, detaching territory from the Village of Vernon. At this point in time, I don't know if the board feels comfortable with someone making a motion. I'll make a motion, just for the sake of discussion, to adopt ordinance 2020-24-01. It is an ordinance to detach territory from the Village of Vernon to the Village of McGuanago, with the conditions, with the 6 conditions stated by our village attorney. Number 1 being the Village of McGuanago adopt an ordinance attaching the subject land, which they did last night. Number 2, the village will adopt ordinance detaching the other lands in the development to the Village of Vernon. The Village of Vernon adopting an ordinance attaching the other lands in the development from the Village of McGuanago. Number 4, the Village of Vernon approving a final plat for the development in substantial conformity with the plans currently on file. The Village of Vernon approving a final plat for the development in substantial conformity with the plans currently on file. And number 6, the petitioners and owners shall reimburse the Village of Vernon for all costs and expenses of any type incurred by the Village of Vernon in connection with the review and proposal. It's the standard language in regards to chargebacks that we give to anyone that comes before the board. That it's a real long paragraph, so I just wanted to. Is there a motion? Is there a second to that motion for discussion? Second by Trustee Newman. Discussion from the board. I know, guys, we've talked about this. I don't know how many times, but
Right.
any discussion?
Like who's counting? Now you got the right number.
Yes. No discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. And we'll just note for the record did you say aye, Jim?
I did.
Oh my gosh, that's
No,
unanimous.
no, I, to your question,
Oh, okay, there's one nay.
Nay.
Oh, perfect, but it passes. And then I would make a motion to approve resolution 2020-24-01, an ordinance approving the detachment of territory from the Village of Vernon to the Village of McGuanago, as drafted by our village administrator, with 6 conditions as stated in the previous motion. Is there a second motion? I'm sorry, that was 03.
Oh, okay.
second.
Second by Trustee Newman. Discussion from the board.
Is this officially going to affect it after tonight? Once,
With the conditions.
yeah, so,
And McGuanago, I did, Brad and I got an email from Diane, their clerk, and it voted it passed 6-1, so there was one person in McGuanago that.
there's always one in the bunch.
There's always, you gotta have one.
Wouldn't be any fun without
There is filing that has to occur with the state, just like an annexation. So it doesn't necessarily become effective, or the map doesn't change automatically.
Sound good, gentlemen? Further discussion from the board? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion.
Nay.
Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, the next agenda item, I know Brad sent out the email from the Mavanago School District requesting that they come before the village board to explain the referendum and give the board information. And I felt this is a decision the board should make that a village president, so I wanted to get your feedback and see what your thoughts were in regards to, I don't know if it would be Tom or if it would be the superintendent of schools. I'm not really sure who would come, but just wanted to know what your feelings were having someone from the Mavanago School District explain why they're putting it to 1.2 million, isn't it, Brad? Referendum on the
120 million?
April ballot.
120 million?
Yeah, 102,300, yeah. And it's for improvements to Big Bend Elementary, Clarendon, Parkview, Rolling Hills section, and demolishing the middle school and building a new middle school. I never knew the middle school was a high school. Did you go to school there? Parkview, was that your high school? You didn't go to McCall, me neither.
I went to the high school in that Parkview.
Yeah, that's what, yeah, I never knew, somebody said that was the high school, and I didn't
Must
realize.
have been a long.
That was before they built the high school, well, the high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where did you guys go to middle school then?
I didn't go to middle school here,
Oh.
or what the else quarters.
Oh,
Well, a lot of times they would just run 7 through 12 in the same school.
oh,
There's a school I was involved in Pennsylvania where I lived where they had 7 through 12 grade all in one school.
wow.
Oh, my daughter's out in Iowa, it's K through 12.
Is that right? Okay, there you go.
All right, gentlemen, so what's your opinion? Would you like someone to come, or would you want to, what would you like to do?
I think it should come to justify how they're spending over $100 million, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and does it matter to the board what meeting they come to? Because I did send an email to Tom asking, you know, who was coming and when they were coming, just in case the board thought it was a good idea. And as soon as we get, you know, either Brad or I get a message back from the school board, Brad will let the board know right away.
Have we calculated so far how much this is gonna affect our taxes? Have we run anything through to see?
I'm sure they have.
What part of that $102 million?
And I don't know, I didn't get any information on how long the debt was to remain.
Yeah,
I know when they did the $46.5 million, the last referendum, they were retiring debt, so it didn't hurt so bad when you're incurring new debt, when you're retiring old debt.
Yeah, this is over that long ago.
Yeah, this is,
it's
yeah.
over twice as much, so.
And they did say they do a PowerPoint too, so if people are tuning in, they could watch, you know, what they're presenting also.
Okay.
So do you want a motion to that effect, that we agree to have a representative from the Mavanago School District come forth to give information on the school's referendum?
I'll make it.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Trustee Newman made the motion and trustee Finch seconded. Discussion from the board. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Gentlemen, I wanted to ask you, at our last plan commission meeting, we had a resident from Waterford come forth with a development we would have never approved. And I don't know how the board feels about this, but, you know, I know when we were a town, it would frustrate me that our town residents would have to go to a village for their certified survey maps, their accessory buildings, and really, when you look at it, I mean, there is some jurisdiction in regards to extraterritorial zoning for plats, but I wanted to know what the board's feeling was to approach. I did talk to the town chair in Waterford and asked how receptive they would be to, it doesn't necessarily have to be a border agreement, but maybe the board doesn't agree, maybe the board thinks we should look at everything within a 1.5 mile radius in the town of Waterford. I mean, I think, just my personal opinion is, you know, I hate to waste taxpayers' money in any, and to have them go to their own, now they're a town, so they have to go to their town government and their county government, but then to come to the village of Vernon, which you would think they'd be part of the village, no, Vernon would be closer.
Different county too.
Yeah, yes, totally different county, so there's no annexation concerns there at all. But I just, you know, and I put border agreement on the agenda, but it could be just a simple, you know, ordinance or resolution or something. I know the state has some examples, but I didn't even bring anything, and we could put that on the agenda for staffing to talk to John about it also. But if the board has no interest in doing any type of agreement, then we don't have to proceed.
I wouldn't have any interest in setting up a border agreement with them,
Okay,
personally. I don't see an advantage to it one way or the other.
yeah, I'm not worried about a border agreement, I just think those people,
Well, it says border agreement.
yeah, you know, and I don't even know, I'm sure, I didn't get a chance to look at the state's website, but there's gotta be something, a full-blown border agreement, you know how much work that is, and how much documentation. And even the border agreements we have with McGuanago and Waukesha, we don't do any of the things that we said we were gonna do in the border agreement. You know, I mean, Jim and Dylan are, as it relates to shared services, but planning and zoning, none of that stuff happens. But I just feel bad for town of Waterford residents. Town of McGuanago, that's all covered in our border agreement. We don't review anything that they do anymore, which is nice for McGuanago.
Is there a way we could structure it so if it's a certain size or dollar amount that it's under, doesn't need to come to Vernon?
You mean,
Yeah, if there's a project going on in town of Waterford, say it only involves a couple acres, you know, or something, where it's really insignificant, where, yeah, it doesn't need to come to Vernon, but if it's a major, huge development, taking up over 100 acres or something, well, then it would be nice to know,
for a plat review, you're talking
Yeah.
about, right?
you know, so can we be lenient on the size somehow?
You know what we should do is
All or nothing.
We'll put this on staff, because there's certain things that you don't have any voice, even this gentleman that came to our last plan commission meeting, it
Yeah.
violated every one of our ordinances, we would never approve, you know, but they approved it, they thought it was wonderful, but we'll put it on the staff agenda, because you could hear some legal, you know, feedback in regards to, you know, what we can do, but I agree with Jim, I put border agreement on there, but a border agreement's a lot of work and a lot of money, you know, so, and I don't think we're never ever gonna annex anything from them, because it's in a different county, and, so we'll put that on staff. Does that sound good, Brad? So gentlemen, is that okay, we'll just put it on staff and talk to John, if there's something simple?
Yeah, cause I'd like to know, I don't see what authority we have in Waterford.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, we don't like it, what they're gonna do, but they can go ahead and do it, it's
Right.
their, in my mind, you know,
Yeah.
so I don't see.
and John's gonna tell you that too, I mean,
That's what I would think.
explain it, it's a waste of their time and money to come, I mean, I don't wanna be insulting, but it is a waste of their time and money to come to us, I mean, we care, but we don't care, I don't know how to say that.
Right, I know.
So we'll put it on staff agenda, we'll talk with John on, you know, what actually, I mean, I know we have more authority on plat review, but I don't think you can, it'd be pretty tough to reject a plat, you know, but we'll talk to John, does that sound good, guys?
Okay.
Next agenda item, we did meet staff, we all met to discuss the new developers agreement and the developers checklist that we wanted to get going for Vernon. And there's a couple things that John stated that he needs to talk to the village board in closed session. So I wanted to ask the village board if they would have any objection of meeting at 12:30 before our staff meeting this coming Thursday we'll do our staff meeting at 1, but if we could meet in closed session to talk to John about a couple issues related to the developers agreement, if you have any objection to meeting at 12:30. Is that okay with the board?
That doesn't make any difference.
I might not be here, still up in the air, might be in Iowa,
Okay. Okay.
trying to get out of it.
Tell me I'm really.
We don't need a super group for that.
No. Alrighty then, Brad, do you wanna bring the board, I mean, I know you sent all this information out to the board, but you wanna bring them up to snuff on what we've got here?
So the bridge project's still kind of proceeding, just kind of, wading our way along with the project. The first time on there is Amendment 3, so this is for additional funding. With the updated design that they've done, or I don't say updated design, but with the way that construction is looking like it would go, they need to construct a causeway to construct part of the bridge. And for that, they have to do additional work, so that's what this amendment's for. Right now, with this amendment, our total obligation to this project would be like $62,000. That's our 20% share of the design costs at this point. So that's what it is. I think it's necessary part of the project, so I'd advise the board to approve it.
Is there any, I know Brad put that in your packet, is there any questions or discussion in the
Do we
council?
have any choice?
No. And the state,
The way I read it.
the state wants this yesterday, right, Brad?
Me too,
Yeah.
And there, and, you know, just so everybody knows too, the state is really anal, they don't make any changes based on legal, you can present legal changes, but the state says, well, they don't say it that way, but these.
They do it in a
So is there a motion to approve amendment number 3 to the contract between the Village of Vernon and the DOT and FOS for, the environmental, this is for the amendment for, the documentation that's supplied in the report from FOS. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Solani and Trustee Newman second the motion. Is there discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. And then Brad also gave you, the, pavement design report, which once again, we have a lot, and we've had our village engineers recruit, review it and stuff, but they just wanna make sure that you agree with the, pavement design, report.
Yeah. Well, it's 410, which is our standard,
Right,
and has been forever, so.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's nothing to sign, but if I could just have a motion that you approve the pavement design report that, dated January 18th, 2024.
I'll make that motion.
By Trustee Solani, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Trustee Millies and Trustee Newman second the motion. Brad, you get the pick. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Board members, I'm gonna defer to you guys first, because I know you saw my report, and I'll try to do mine fast, but Jim, I'm gonna jump to you for your report, or, correspondence.
Be lengthy. I don't have any.
Oh, Jim. Trustee Finch, do you have a report or correspondence or any information you'd like to bestow?
I think on January 11th, we were supposed to have the Christmas trees picked up. We put them out.
It's a couple weeks. Oops, that's what's report. Go ahead and make your report.
Well, but they drove past, it was sitting by the end of the driveway. They picked up the garbage, so I figured there's another runner truck that comes by afterwards to make sure if they left anything behind. He then went by and left my tree. I was gonna call him, and I got busy doing something else. Well, now it's way under snow. So, I thought they were supposed to start picking them up on the 11th.
We're not supposed to really respond, but there is a start, and I'll look up those dates while we're talking. But they pick them up for like a 2-week span.
Yeah, it's gonna end up in my fire pit, is what I do now, but I mean, it's just.
Anything else?
Have anything?
Nothing?
I don't have anything except, City DPW did a great job plowing this last week. That was quite a snowstorm.
Yeah.
I noticed when I was out, Vernon roads were probably in better condition than most of the other roads I were on.
Yeah. All right, thank you trustees. I'm gonna try to do mine really fast. Once again, a big thank you to the Vernon Fire Department and DPW staff for all their efforts in the last, snowstorm that we just had. I received several phone calls from residents regarding the services that all provided. And I know how hard the DPW guys work, any snow event that we have in Vernon, but I was amazed to see how much our fire department did in regards to, tree removals and branches down, and, I was so impressed to hear how many, and the DPW guys were so pleased with all the help that the fire department was doing in removing those branches and trees, because then they could focus on the snow removal. And the DPW guys did say that the thing that irritates them is the cars left out on the road, or people on their tractors, plowing snow, and they're just asking, if people could refrain from being on the roads when they're trying to plow, because they obviously don't want to hurt anybody, and to go around a car when it's parked on the road is a lot of fun for the guys. But I agree with all of you. I think they did a great job, and wanted to also thank the the fire department for all their work, and I did find out we do have a tree whisperer on the Vernon Fire Department, so if anybody know that, as a sassy tree, we got somebody in our department. And as I stated, on January 11th, Brad and I met with staff to go over a new developers agreement and development checklist. That's, we're working on that now, and as soon as we're done with that, we'll bring that to the board, right, Brad?
Mhm.
That was a great meeting. The other issue is too, as a part of our responsibility as our MS4 permitting, education portion, the last board tried to get a meeting last October. It's informing our residents that live in subdivisions that have stormwater ponds or detention ponds, any type of stormwater, in their subdivision. It is their responsibility to, upkeep and maintain those. So what we'd like to do is have a meeting with our attorney, our engineers, the DNR's coming, the county's coming, and obviously the board. I'd even like the plan commission to come because they deal with a lot of stormwater issues. But that meeting is set for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. at Big Bend Elementary School. And as we get more information, we'll get that because I want the board to be well versed on what they're going to talk about. But the biggest issue is letting residents know what they're responsible for, and then they'll know what we're responsible for. So sometimes that paints a clearer picture, and it also puts a better light on the village as it relates to complying with our stormwater ordinance. When in our last one, Brad and I talked to the attorney, I said we're going to have the fire impact fees or special assessment fees on the agenda. But John stated a couple things that I did not know, and so we're going to put that on the staff agenda so the board gets the full information from our attorney in regards to those fees. So I just didn't want you to think I ignored what I told you I was going to do, but we'll put that on staff. Also, the Big Bend Elementary School is in the village of Vernon, and they're in desperate need of an afternoon crossing guard or guards. They have somebody lined up for the morning, so if anybody is interested, it pays $20 per hour. And if they want more information, they can call Brad or the village hall, or if they're interested in want a job, share it with somebody else. But they really need somebody in the afternoon when the kids are out of school. And then, Brad, I did file a claim last night. I found that the village of Vernon, once the town of Vernon was owed money. So I filed a claim for the in the town, but they're gonna make the check, the DOR is gonna make it out to the village of Vernon, just to make sure. It's not a lot. We're not gonna buy a fire truck, guys, but, it's probably $300, but I just wanted Brad to have the documentation of the claim, and they did say they'd make it out to the village of Vernon. Two great, I asked Brad to, pass on the GoGov webinar. If you get a chance, look at it. Really cool stuff. We didn't budget for it. I'd just like you to see it, see what you guys think. But it's not in the budget, so it'd be something in the future. And then also, at some point, if I could get, it doesn't have to be this month because you guys are attending a lot of extra meetings, but I attended just an awesome webinar on cybersecurity and some cyber issues that I'd like to talk to the board in closed session in regards to cybersecurity. So sometime in February when we have an off day, if your board wouldn't mind doing that. And then I just wanted to say a great big thank you to all the residents that donated products to the VA in Milwaukee. I'm sure Jim knows, when a veteran comes to the VA, that's where they start in southeastern Wisconsin, what their needs are, and they're so appreciative and so thankful. So I wanted to send a big thank you to all of our residents. And lastly, the county put the county's jamboree, Waukesha County's jamboree starts tomorrow, goes for 2 weeks. And also, this month is National Radon Month. And you can get a radon kit at Waukesha County for $10. So if you just Google that, you can get a $10 radon kit to test your phone for radon. And that's all I have. So Brad, what do you got?
Not a lot, just that our crews were busy with snow removal. Things seem to go really good. The county reached out to me twice through dispatch for stuff, and it was trees across the road or things of that nature. So really, I think it went really well. Just like Trustee Millie said, and everybody said, I thought our roads were in really good condition compared to a lot of the other roads in the county, even our subdivision roads being clear and the hard pack was minimal. So I thought it was, the crews did really good. Our equipment came out well with it. We've just been busy with a lot of end of the year stuff. W-2 should be going out next week. And 1099s and just some more end of the year stuff, and still working on reconciliations.
Great, thank you, Brad. Board members, you know that Brad had put the Sheriff's Department, December 2023 Sheriff's Department and Fire Department reports in your packet. And at this point in time, we will move to accounts payable for January 18th, 2024. Just for discussion, so I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable in amount of $48,026.30. Is there a second to that motion? Second by trustee Slaney, discussion?
Question, there were 3, 4, 5, something like that. FICA reimbursements or something?
Yeah, so that goes back to, goes back to a period from May of 22 to June of 23. The village was accidentally, and the employee was accidentally paying FICA on the village's WRS contribution for employees receiving WRS. So the employee and the village overpaid FICA on it, so we'll have to file amended 1099 or 941s with the feds, and we'll get reimbursed, and then we'll get reimbursed also through that money for the money that's being repaid to the employee.
So does this clean that up now?
Yeah. Yeah, but the issue was cleaned up when we switched to new software.
Ah, okay.
Excuse me. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Manual checks. I had that, Brad. 5 million. Sorry. Does anybody have their manual check total?
$5,665,012.01.
Is that your motion to approval?
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Brad has the workforce December financial report in the packet. We'll put the December bank statements in the next packet. Minutes, December 21st, 2023.
You had,
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
your changes were for the January 10th, right?
What's that?
Your changes were for the January 10th one that you emailed me about.
Well,
That was for the December meeting. Karen had 2 changes to add Tom Tomasek present and her present in there, so if you just
It's
want
just the name spelled correctly, yeah, that's the
so if
only
you
thing.
just want to say as amended.
December 21st was Tom Thomason,
Mhm.
and then the font changed. But I mean, the minutes are, I thought, were fine, and, on the December 21st. January 4th was, well, we'll stay on this one for now. Discussion of approval on December 21st, 2023 village board minutes. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. January 4th was not in there, right,
Yeah,
Brad?
yeah.
But, January 10th, I'd make a motion to approve with, I think it was Tom, was that my name that's what wrong?
Yours in that
Yeah.
second one.
Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make your motion.
Trustee Slay, made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Millies, discussion. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next meeting, board members, we have our staff meeting, we're gonna meet at 12:30, and the regular staff will start at 1. We have, board meetings on February 1st and 15th, and Brad, it is a combined plan commission meeting on the
Yep.
14th, correct, sir?
Yep.
With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Millies, made the motion, second by trustee Swanee. Discussion? Discussion, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned, gentlemen. You guys take so long for meetings, it's embarrassing.